I mean, I'm just going to start this out by saying I am supremely excited to do this video. This video has been something that, I'm just going to love because I'm finally going to be able to get a ton of shit off of my chest. Due to my young age, obviously, I don't know many people who listen to Nas, if at all, really. And then those who do don't really, not even close to the depth that I listen to him. So there's not really many people I can converse with on the topic of Nas and his music. And I've done just such deep dives into the man's music. It's so fucking good. And so there better be, a fuck ton of comments about this. I'm going to be rating out of Nas's discography his top 5 albums. Now I might even do another video talking about some of his other albums that I really like that didn't make this that I want to talk about, because I'm not going to mention them now. I want to have the content for another video, but he has other albums that I think are good. Like, they are good, but obviously with the crazy high sky standard that he set with the having what I think is 3 classic albums, and I think that should be undisputable, and I'll get into that later. But I will hopefully make a video. I don't know how long this one's going to be. It might be a really fucking long time because I'm just going to riff like crazy. But I'm probably going to make another video covering the other albums that didn't make this list and sort of talk about them. Now, down below in the comment section, I want to know what you guys think are the top 5 albums, but don't do it in no order. I'm going to be ranking mine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There isn't going to be, a no ranking. It's going to be a 1 through 5. So, you have to, I hate when people write their shit, but don't give any rationale or reason. So, you better give some rationale or reason, or I'm going to be fucking pissed. But okay, here we go. So, number 1, I'm sure you guys are going to know what this is. Of course, it's Illmatic. I mean, come on. Illmatic is essentially, it's pretty much, widely considered the greatest hip-hop album of all time. You have this, or you have the Wu-Tang album. But, really, I mean, come on. It has to go to Illmatic. Come on. It has to go to, we already know it's going to go to Illmatic. I mean, just looking through the track list of Illmatic, I mean, come on. New York State of Mind, not only is the song just so fucking amazing, but there's this really interesting story that DJ Premier talks about, who obviously was the producer of the song. He talks about how, Nas comes in with all of his boys, like 20 people, and, Nas doesn't know how to start it. And that's why he says it in the beginning. He goes, I don't know how to start this shit, man. And then DJ Premier says, I'm like counting to, 3 with my fingers. And then he just goes off in that entire first verse. And if you've heard New York State of Mind, you know that it's just an insane lyrical, just fucking beat down. And so it's like, to think that happened all in one take is, whoo, that is fucking mind-blowing, man. And, the lyrical wordplay. And here's the thing that's really unique about this. So I mentioned earlier how, due to my young age, a lot of people don't listen to Nas that I know, obviously. But I have, people always try to get their friends to listen to similar music because they want to have someone to talk about it with, of course. So I would do that for my friends, but even if they didn't really like Nas, the song that stuck with them is New York State of Mind. They like that song. So that's something that you can tell, that it's good. When you cannot really like the artist's other music, but you'll be like, yeah, I fuck with this song. That song is amazing, man. I mean, the beat, the lyrical wordplay, the fucking word spray. I mean, come on. I've never seen such lyrical skill, in a long time. And it's a fucking classic, amazing song, one of my top songs, personally, that I like, in rap. New York State of Mind is going to be at the top. It's just such a true showing of lyrical skill, talent, wordplay ability, and just sheer skill, man. But, the third track on here is Life's a Bitch. I mean, come on. This song is the only feature. It's the only song with the fucking feature on it. And it's AZ. Nobody knew AZ was at the time because AZ wasn't a thing at the time. And AZ comes on this track and drops one of the most historic verses ever to be heard on, in a rap song. I mean, come on. he drops such an amazing verse. But the way that they're portraying, the way that their lives are being lived, how AZ is saying, life's a bitch and then he dies, essentially saying, as long as you're leaving thieving, you're leaving with some kind of dough. So it's like, as long as you're doing that, you're leaving with some kind of dough. But it's like they're living in this sort of society where life is a bitch, and you're gonna die. That's sort of the reality they were facing. But what I like is in Nas's verse, he goes, I changed my motto. That buck that bought the bottle could have struck the lotto. So what he's saying is, I'm changing my mind. My mindset's going from, just fuck this shit to, the dollar that I spent on the alcohol could have struck the lotto. So that was fucking dope. And just the beat really matched it. And I like the theme that comes with Nas's verse as well, where, it's talking about his born day, and it's just lyrical skill, man. I mean, the lyrical skill on that song is so fucking good, but it overall really, is a theme and a representation, I think, of, life in the projects in the hood. And I think that's what it was. And again, AZ's career was spawned out of this song. I mean, it was literally spawned out of this song. The only feature on this entire album, which is crazy, it's the only feature, and is considered the best, the best album of all time, it's crazy just to think of that. But AZ's verse on here is one of the most iconic hip-hop verses of all time. It really is. Now, number 4, you got The World Is Yours. I mean, come on. This song, I love this song so much, man. Just the beat, the chorus, and the lyrical wordplay, man. It's amazing. You just listen to one of those verses and then listen to, today's rap, and I don't know what you can do but just like mourn the death of rap. He had an album called Hip Hop Is Dead, and he was fucking pissed and shit. But let's not get into that. We'll save that for later. But the point being that the lyrical wordplay on there is so fucking good, and the beat matches. And I also want to mention this album, I want to say, it was sort of revolutionary in that it really created this competition, this intra-album competition between producers, because it has a bunch of different producers on it. Obviously, he's got DJ Premier, he's got Pete Rock, he has a bunch of different producers on this album, and so they're all trying to outbest each other, and you know what I mean. So it's really crazy how that how the beats turned out to be so fucking good. Now halftime again, a great fucking song, great beat, solid song, great song, not a bad song, a really great song. Memory Lane, that's also a great song, really good lyrical wordplay. You really have to listen to it to get the message out of it. But if I had to put like a lower tier of songs, Memory Lane is one of them. I don't vibe with that as much as I do with all the other songs, like New York State of Mind, Life's a Bitch, The World Is Yours. I mean, those, I would add It Ain't Hard to Tell and Represent to just the fucking, it's a huge, amazing, like that's the top tier of songs on this album for me. But next we have One Love, it's like a hint of creativity that Nas will bring to rap in the future. So One Love, if you don't know, it's a letter to his brother who's in jail. So it's a really creative thing in that he's writing a letter and it's a rap song. Like that's some shit that's, innovative. It, changes up the rap game. It embedders the rap game. And I love that type of stuff because it hits you with a different angle. Like in Biggie's track, Warning, he's talking on the phone and it's like, damn, like the entire phone call somehow rhyming. Like how the fuck, you know what I mean? So like that's so innovative. It's so different. And I fucking love that, man. It's amazing. And the beat is really good. And I love the flow. Really great song. One Time for Your Mind, really good song as well. Represent, I actually really like this song. This is actually a really good song too. I like the beat on this song, and I think the lyrical wordplay on this song is really good too. This was actually probably the last. For some reason, I never really heard this song when in my first roundabout through listening to the Illmatic songs. But later on, I listened to it like months later, and whew, straight fire, man, amazing. I love it, great song. Now, topping it off with It Ain't Hard to Tell. I mean, come on. It Ain't Hard to Tell. I don't know if It Ain't Hard to Tell or New York State of Mind. They're sort of similar songs in that their lyrical wordplay is amazing and their lyrical word sprays. So It Ain't Hard to Tell. I mean, he's saying I'm like the Afrocentric Asian, half man, half amazing. Like, come on. Like, this shit is fucking awesome, man. Like, the lyrical wordplay that Nas employs in this, and the beat is really fucking good. Just classic, man. Absolute and utter classic. I love the song. It's amazing. But my top 5 songs, I mean, New York State of Mind, Life's a Bitch, The World Is Yours, Represent, and It Ain't Hard to Tell. Those are my top 5 on the album. I mean, come on. This is such a fucking good album. And again, it is a travesty that it's not his most, selling album. But, I mean, it's not, the sales aren't really a merit-based system. So, I guess that is important to know. But, now, that is my number 1. Illmatic, of course. You guys, I'm praying to God that you guys know what Illmatic is. But yes, I'm putting Illmatic on my number 1, of course, and I'm sure most people are going to do such. Now, we're going to get into the number 2 spot. Now, here is where I start to get, I'm going to go through my thought process of the ranking of these albums. Now, this is where I actually started to get kind of conflicted, and I really had to weigh out certain things. Really had to weigh out certain things. Now, my number 2 spot, I had to decide whether or not which one I want, whether I wanted Stillmatic or It Was Written, because those two are amazing albums. I think those two are, right after Illmatic, those are right there. I love them. And I think that, what the both albums did is you take Nas's amazing lyrical skill and lyrical flow and just, amazingness. And then you have polished, like, good-ass beats. I mean, how could you get a better mix? You see what I'm saying? So, I love both of the albums. They almost go in, like, a similar category to me because while Illmatic has a more sense of immediacy, and Illmatic is not as polished, Stillmatic and It Was Written are both very polished, and I fucking love them to death. But, in comparison between Stillmatic and It Was Written, my thought process, I had to compare the track list, and I went through, and I came to the conclusion that I was going to put Stillmatic at my number 2 and not It Was Written. Some of you guys might be mad at that, but I'm going to explain why. So, the intro on this album may be the best Nas intro I've actually heard. I like the beat, and, it's just sort of like a good intro. He goes, blood of a slave, heart of a king. Like, dude, that was fucking dope. I like that. That's probably my favorite intro. The It Was Written one wasn't bad either. Of course, it has ether on it. Ether became a verbiage. It went from being a noun to a verb. If you are in a rap battle of some sort, or even in some kind of like a, beef of some sort, whether it be like some, I don't know, roasting session of some sort, some shit like that, right? If you, like, someone bodies you, like, metaphorically, like, you got ethered. You got ethered. So that became a literal verbiage. Like, that's how fucking bombshell of a song that was. It became a verb. It went from being a noun to a verb. That's how amazing it was. Although I will let you guys know that didn't have that much of an effect on my choosing between Stillmatic and It Was Written. Like, while I fuck with Ether heavy and it's a great song, it doesn't have as much playback value as the other songs do, in my personal opinion. So you may be surprised. You may have even thought that Ether was the reason why I put Stillmatic at number 2 over It Was Written. That was not at all. That didn't even factor into my thought process. Ether's a great song, though. I mean, it definitely served its purpose, right? I mean, Jay-Z crying on the radio and shit. But yeah. That is a good song, but it didn't, you may think that was the reason why I put Stillmatic over It Was Written, but that is not the case. Now, third track on the album, Got Yourself a Gun. Love the song. I mean, the beat is hella good, the chorus is good, and the lyrical wordplay, man. I mean, I don't know. Songs like that, where they're just so good, it's hard to describe. You know what I mean? Like, the lyrical wordplay is fucking awesome. The beat is awesome. I mean, there's nothing bad on that song. Not a single thing. Not even one. Now, the fourth track is Smokin'. Love the song. It has a totally different tone to it, you know? And a big skill of Nas is he's able to paint a picture in your mind of what's going on without you actually being there. And so, you know, when I'm listening to a song, I'm picturing, you know, a group of people passing around a blunt and smoking. And, you know, he's talking about some of these more in-depth philosophical things, you know, like where he's talking about, you know, who win, like, you know, life or medicine, you know. So there's a lot of different philosophical things that go in there that are really, you know, pique my interest, and the tone and the vibe of the song are a lot different. And I like that from Nas because I think that he proved through his, you know, prolific discography, I think that he proved that he could really bring a different tone to different songs, and I fucking love that. Great song. Your Demand, 5th track on this album. Amazing song. I love this, man. The chorus is amazing, but the beat is amazing. The lyrical wordplay, come on. I mean, how can you... If you don't like Your Demand, you don't like hip-hop. I mean, let's just put it that way. But I want to say that the uptone, you know, again, it's sort of bringing a different vibe than the song Smokin' does, right? This is more of a uplifting, like, you know, like Your Demand type of vibe. Like, it's to, you know, sort of make you feel better, make you motivated, just more excited. That's why I like this song. It's powerful, and it's really, really fucking good, man. I can't express how much I like that song. Now, talking about rap creativity, Rewind. Come on. My man's literally wrote a song of a story going backwards. I don't even know what to say to that, other than that gets massive points for the album and the song, because that's not your, like, who thinks of that type of shit, right? Like, only a lyrical genius and just a rap lyricist mastermind like Nas would think of something like that. And that's what I love. And we're going to get into a song on It Was Written. And it's just, this guy, he's so fucking creative, and I absolutely love it. It's a great song. You know, obviously, if you haven't heard it, listen to it, man. Listen to it now, ASAP. One Mic is a great song too. A really commercial song. And to be honest, I'm not a big fan of the commercial songs. And we'll get into that in other albums too. The commercial songs usually aren't good. Some of them, you know, from Nas are good. Like Got Yourself a Gun, I guess, is one of his commercial songs. Fucking amazing. One Mic, a really awesome song. I really do like it. I like that he's a really dynamic rapper in this song, you know, because it constantly goes from downplay to upplay, you know, to up tempo, low tempo, you know, fast, slow. I really like that because it's this sort of progression that you see. It's almost like a graph, you know, how there's different progressions of up, down, up, down, up, down, you know, different things like that. I like that. You know, I think it's creative. I think it's different, and I appreciate it, man. It was a really good song. I think a lot of people got introduced to Nas on the track One Mic. I know that is what Ellen said really got you know, her into Nas. So I think that you know, that was one of his most commercial songs from the album, and this Stillmatic album went double platinum. I think it undersold It Was Written by a couple 100,000, maybe 100,000, but it did go double platinum. Now, Second Childhood, this is a good song too, and I think it definitely serves its purpose. You know, he's sort of talking about how in life he's going through, you know, what he considers to be his second childhood, which is something that's interesting. I think that it's a good song, and I think again that it's creative, and I think that it deals in reality, and there is a certain connection to it, and you can you understand what his main point is, and you understand what he's trying to get at and what he's trying to convey, and I do appreciate that a lot. Destroy and Rebuild. Come on. This shit is, you know, The Bridge Is Over. I mean, come on. This is an amazing song. Especially when he, I think it was Nature that he did. He goes, Nature moved to Marcy. He goes, and then he says some shit like, you know, what else? Like, he moved to fucking Marcy. So it's like, I mean, come on. This is a legendary song. Let's keep it real. This is a diss song. It's a legendary song. It's some intra New York shit. some even more intra shit, because technically the Jay-Z Nas beef is intra New York too, but this is more intra. Because he was a lot closer with, Nature and the other people and the people from Mobb Deep. So what you're really looking at is a really good song that has a lot of replay value. I've heard the song Destroy and Rebuild a lot of times. One thing I will tell you about the Stillmatic album as a whole, it has pretty much infinite replay value. And I would say that if I had to choose one Nas album that I could really play through the full thing, it's probably Stillmatic. Obviously Illmatic too, but I think Stillmatic, really every track is good. Now, the flyest. Nas and AZ are my favorite rap duo. Easily my favorite rap duo, 100%. This song has a really, amazing beat. And again, the tone is different, and that's a skill that I like about Nas. Every song has a different tone to it. And so I like the flies because it's this different tone of this chill tone. And AZ and Nas together, I mean, come on, they're both lyrical gods, basically. And so they're just spitting, they're just, they're spitting and they're just playing off each other. Amazing, man, amazing. I love it. I love it to death. I love it to death. Now, we have Braveheart Party. Now, Braveheart Party is sort of a little bit like of a whatever song for me. Now, it's a party track. Everyone says, oh, Nas doesn't make any party joints, And so he makes a party joint, and people are like, oh, man, why are you making a party joint? Or they're saying it sucks. So that's an interesting part. It was an okay song. I'm not really playing that, but it's an alright song. I'll put it that way. Rule. I love this song. Rule is awesome because here's the thing. I almost think of Rule as a part 2 of, If I Ruled the World. I feel like it's a part 2 because the intros are very similar, and I fuck with it. Rule is an amazing beat. Again, the lyrical ability that is shown by Nas is awesome, but I like the way that it also goes through different tempos in the song. And I really like that. I really like that, man. And again, I really do feel like in my mind, I put Rule as a part 2 to If I Rule the World. And I'll get into that song later, obviously, in my ranking. But What Goes Around. This is a really good song, too. Obviously, Nas most of the time has a sort of central message, and his message here is, watch out, because what goes around comes around. And so, again, amazing wordplay, great beat, just fucking awesome song, fucking awesome. And then you have the final track on here, Every Ghetto. Oh, I actually missed My Country. Sorry, My Country is number 13. What Goes Around comes after that, but I really want to talk about My Country. Now, My Country is a very underrated song in my opinion. I am absolutely blessed and absolutely, just been graced to be able to, have truly appreciated this song to its full extent, because I feel like this is a really good, I guess what I would say, representation of sort of, life in the hood. But I'm gonna, there's this in the first verse, Nas's first verse. I'm gonna read you guys this because he says, really fucking in the verse he just goes ham. He goes, mother's a dope fiend embarrassing me, all in front of my friends in the street, smile with no teeth. I never knew daddy, heard he had a 72 caddy, died in a robbery, can't remember him, was probably 3. Why did my folks just die in this society? Well, wasn't I a child of a doctor who left stocks for me? 2 little brothers, 2 sisters, them shorties gots to eat. Mother's a junkie, she twisted, so all they got is me. I'm to bravado, with goals to do much better than my father, whether through drugs sold or holding revolvers. Blurry visions of dad holding me high, comes to me slowly, the words he would cry. And then it goes on with the chorus. That verse, not only, is obviously the substance amazing of that verse, because I think it really represents pretty accurately and very articulately sort of the life in the hood and sort of the unfortunate situations that people find themselves in. But the way that he delivers it with the beat in the background, I mean, get the fuck out of here. That is one of the most underrated songs in all of hip-hop history. Seriously. But people don't really, fuck with real shit. That's the problem. People don't really fuck with real shit because they're fake. But I already talked about What Goes Around, which is 14, great song. 15, Every Ghetto. Every Ghetto is also a really good song too. I like Every Ghetto as well. That's also, I often have it similar in my mind to My Country as well. But I fuck with Every Ghetto too. So out of this entire album, you know, the one song, really all the songs are at least okay. But, you know, what I'm talking about is Braveheart Party is okay. I think Second Childhood is okay. Everything else is great. So that's why I could listen to this entire album, including the intro. That's why this is really a unique album because, well, you know, you could listen through the whole thing of Illmatic, but it's only 10 joints long. You know what I mean? So it's not even, this album is 15 and you could listen to this whole shit. So it's like, damn, dog, like that is some shit right there. But okay, so that's my number 2. Stillmatic and Illmatic, both classic albums, by the way. Indisputable. If you say otherwise, fuck you. Anyways, so as I explained earlier, trying to explain my thought process in the ranking system that I, you know, have put in place. I was, you know, really debating between Stillmatic and It Was Written for the second spot. I chose Stillmatic in the second spot after looking through the track listing, and I'll sort of go through why. So It Was Written. It Was Written was a very different album from Illmatic because It Was Written had really, you know, polished beats, and it had a different tone to it as well. It had a different tone to it. Now, the intro for It Was Written was pretty good too. I actually fuck with that one as well. That one and the Stillmatic intro are really fucking good. I fuck with them heavy. But the message is awesome. Come on. The message is awesome. The message, he also, in this one, he actually throws shots. I don't know if it can be considered shots, but I mean, Nas has confirmed that basically he was throwing like some subliminal shots. Now, to be fair, like, him and Big would throw some shots at each other. Like, Big, like, was, you know, saying some shit on Kicking the Door. You know, he was saying, like, you know, he's beating down rapper Don, fake rapper Dons, and obviously Nas says he's like the Don of rap. So, but, you know, on his verse 1, he says, fake thug, no love, you get the slug, see before gusto, your luck law, I didn't know till I was drunk, though. You freak, blanks played out, get fucking Nate out, prostitute turn bitch, I got the gauge out. 96 ways I made out, Montana way, the good fella, verbal AK spray. And then he goes on and on and he goes on. But he really gets on. He says here, they let me let y'all know one thing. There's one life, one love, so there can only be one king. So what he's talking about there is he's the one king is what he's saying. He says he's the one king of New York. So you sort of, and he's confirmed that this was taking shots at Biggie. They had like a little subliminal shit going on, but it was never anything serious. They were friends and shit, but they were just throwing little lyrical competitive shit, which is cool, you know. I mess with that, but then, you know, Biggie responds on Kicking the Door, and he's going after a bunch of people too, and he's fucking, I guess he was even like shitting on DJ Premier, and he was fucking shitting on J. Rue, and he was shitting on Ray and Ghostface, so he was just shitting on everybody in New York on that song, Kicking the Door, but, you know, making fun of rapper Dons and, you know, all this other shit. So that's some of the, you know, I guess, remarkableness, you could say, significance, I should say remarkableness, I don't think that's a thing, but the message, again, like, it follows the Nas blueprint of great lyrics and then amazing beat. Street Dreams. I love Street Dreams. Street Dreams is fucking awesome. You know, I go, Street Dreams all made up, you know, like, that's a great song. I fuck with Street Dreams. Hella good song. I Gave You Power. Okay. This is one of the landmark songs of Nasir Jones, and I'll tell you exactly why. This is one of the most creative songs I've ever heard in my entire life. You know, like, what kind of a crazy person, what kind of like a crazed mastermind thinks of a song in which he personifies a gun? Like, you're literally rapping from the perspective, you're personifying an inanimate object of a weapon, a firearm, a gun. and the beat is so good, and the lyrics are so good. Oh my god, this song, I mean, I'm floored by this song every time I listen to it, but this is one of his landmark songs, man. I mean, you're talking about I Gave You Power being one of his landmark songs, because this was so creative. I mean, it was really innovative, and it was really different, and people don't really, you know, anybody who's like a serious hip hop head really knows their shit. Like, you know, I Gave You Power was like, fuck, like that's some shit right there. Now, there's a song called like Watch Them Blanks. I don't really fuck with that song. It's not terrible, like it's not bad, but like it's okay. I'll put it that way. It's okay. Like if they wiped it off the album, I'd be cool with that. Now number 6, Take It in Blood. Take It in Blood. I fuck with that. I fuck with Take It in Blood. This is one of those songs that I'm really glad I was fully able to appreciate and absorb and soak in, because the tone of the song is so different. And again, I will repeat, Nas is really skilled at having different tones in his songs and different themes. And it's sort of a more, I almost want to say dark, but I don't feel like it's really dark. Dark is going to be another album on my list that we're going to be getting to soon. But it's more, you know, getting in that direction. It's more getting in that direction, I guess we could put it. But the lyrical ability of his on this song is just, I mean, it's pure godlike. And the beat, again, is polished, so it sounds hella good. I love Take It in Blood. It's one of my favorite songs on this album. It's one of my favorite songs of Nas. It is. Now, Nas is Coming, don't really fuck with it. Affirmative Action. This song, oh man, I love this song. I love Affirmative Action. Now, here's what I will say. I'll say that Foxy's, not only does Foxy's math not make any fucking sense, mathematically, whatever she's saying, it makes no rational sense whatsoever in the mathematics world. But to be fair, that's not really relevant. I think that Foxy's part of the song is actually the worst. I love the tone of the song, but anytime you get Nas and AZ on a song, and you throw in Cormega, oh my god, man. That song was fucking awesome. I love that song to death. You know, some of Nas's lines on there, I'm actually gonna pull up the lyrics on that, because I really want to highlight that song because it's so good. Like, the AZ and Nas are truly these architects. You know what I mean? They're really architects of this. But this song is one of my favorite songs. It's one of the more hallmark ones for me personally, because it sticks in my head, because I feel like it's unique. I feel like it's really unique, and I really do like it. The beat and this amazing rap is just fucking awesome. Now, AZ's verse, intro too, actually, by the way, I want to mention that intro. Love it, amazing. Cormega's verse. Cormega's verse, it lines up perfectly. I was gonna say perfectly with the tone of the song. The tone of the song is supposed, and the whole album is supposed to be like this sort of mafioso type shit, this New York Queens type of vibe. It matches up perfectly. The beat is, in that tone too, and Cormega just fucking spitting game, man. Cormega spitting game. I fuck with that heavy. Now, here's the thing. He says some shit like really dope. Nas's verse on this is fucking fire. He goes, "Yo, my mind is seen through your design like blind fury." That's fucking dope. But here's the real dope part though. He says, "Life's a bitch, but God forbid the bitch divorce me." Damn, bro. Dude, you are such a fucking lyrical architect, man. That shit stuck with me. It's like, damn, like, life's a bitch, but like, fuck, God forbid, I die. Because then it's like, shit, like, I mean, then it's gone, Nas some of his shit is just so powerful, like, insane. Like, that stuck with me, as in, like, a line that's stuck in my head. Not that it really applies to me. It doesn't apply to me at all, actually. But it's stuck in my head as just this lyrical, amazing creativity that I really can appreciate. As a consumer of music and just art is what this is. This is fucking art. I mean, that's art. But this Affirmative Action, man, amazing song. 1,000 thumbs up. I love it to death. Fuck you. Fuck yeah. I was gonna say fuck you. I mean, fuck yeah. The Setup, good song. I fuck with The Setup. Black Girl Lost, a really good song. Black Girl Lost is talking about, you know, how girls are sort of, you know, not focused on themselves and sort of, you know, get lost and going in this sort of merry-go-round and stuff. And I think that, again, Nas, most of his songs have some sort of a central theme, and this one, it's a really good one. I think it's great, and the song is really good if you've heard it. Suspect, another good song. Shootouts, yes. Shootouts is a really good song. I like Shootouts. The theme of it sort of is, I guess, a shootout technically, but I like the beat and I love the lyrical wordplay. Some of Nas's songs, they're hard to describe why they're so good. You know, they're hard to describe why they're so good, but it's so fucking good, man. Now, here we have live blank rap. This shit is dope. This shit is dope as fuck. It's dope as fuck. I mean, Mobb Deep and Nas had some really good collaborations. Rest in peace, Prodigy, by the way. Rest in peace, P. They had some really fucking good. They had some really damn good, collaborations. This was one of them. You know, the line that stands out to me is Escobar 6000. That's the line that sticks out to anytime you say, you know, live rap. Like I'm thinking Escobar 6000. That's what I'm thinking. That is absolutely what I'm thinking. I love the song. Amazing song. Now, here's the song that sort of, I think, was responsible for pushing it to being Nas's most sold album, another double platinum album. It was his first double platinum album, because Illmatic only went platinum. But I think this song, If I Ruled the World, this is one of the few commercial songs that I like, you know, super commercial, but it's actually a quality song. Now, obviously, this has the musical legend Lauryn Hill on it, who's just fucking a legend, you know, legendary icon in rap, legendary, part of the Fugees, etc. But anyways, the point here being, this song is really, really damn good. The sort of tone, the tone of it is really interesting. The way I almost picture it is sort of like, almost like a night where people are sort of talking. It's kind of hard to describe. But I mean, the chorus is amazing. Again, Lauryn Hill, just a fucking legendary icon. I mean, that song is really awesome. And it is shocking to me that was a commercial song, because I don't tend to like commercial songs. I usually don't like those very much because I feel like they're not. My cup of tea is a good beat mixed with lyrical wordplay. And those two don't usually end up on commercial songs. But the crazy thing is, back then, I mean, dude, in the early well, not early. Early/mid/late 90s, you know, good commercial songs were actually good songs. Now, that ended up being the case with Stillmatic 2, which came out in 01. But, you know, the One Mic is amazing, Got Yourself a Gun, amazing. But that concludes It Was Written. Now, here's my thing. Illmatic, Stillmatic, and It Was Written. All three are classic albums from my man Nasir Jones. Indisputable, undisputable. Classic albums. For me, it goes Illmatic, Stillmatic, It Was Written in the rankings. All three of those are classic albums. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to get into one of the most underrated albums from my man Nas. And that is I Am. Now, the I Am album was kind of confusing because it was supposed to be like a different album that was supposed to be like an autobiography, and that's why, you know, the song Fetus ended up on the Lost Tapes, because all the shit started getting leaked. Fetus was supposed to be the first song and all the, and it was supposed to go in chronological order. That didn't pan out. So, you know, this came out in 99. If I'm not mistaken, though, I believe that this album also, well, it definitely went platinum. And I don't think it went double platinum, but it had some heavy sales, which is fucking dope. So I will say that. But, you know, when you sort of talk to people about Nas's best albums, whether it be Vlad TV or whoever the fuck. They're never going to mention I Am, despite I Am being such a really good album. So now let's start out. New York State of Mind Part 2. This is a song that may be the Nas song with the most replay value. This Nas song is so amazing because the wordplay and the beat match so well. I like the tempo. It provides a different sort of different feel than the first New York State of Mind. But what I like is in the beginning, let me actually, pull up the genius lyrics. But I mean, dude, like this song I bump in my car all the time because it's just so good. The lyrical ability of Nas is just so well in this. But I mean, just the beginning, like it gets me, He says, broken glass in the hallway, blood-stained floors, neighbors look at every bag you bring through your doors. Lock the top lock, mama should have cuffed me to the radiator, why not? It might have saved me later from my block, NY cops. Hookers calling off the stroll coffin, stitches in the head, stinking in the dread, thinking they be cinching. And then he just goes on, and it's just, oh my god, like these like fucking verses are fucking fire, man. They're fire. They're absolutely fire. And he goes on this amazing story. Where he talks about, going from, I think it's 6 of his boys down to like 3 or some shit. Like, dude, that's amazing. Okay, so 8 partners growing up. He goes, had 8 partners growing up, 8 turned to 7, 7 turned to 6, got 2 in heaven. I mean, dude, if you've heard the song, the lyrical ability on that song is, honestly, it's one of my favorite Nas songs. I mean, that's the way I gotta put it. It's one of my personal favorites because it has just such a deep replay value. The lyrical ability is sharp, and it's probably one of the top ones. Now, Hate Me Now, I don't really like Hate Me Now. It's one of Nas's, unfortunately, most popular songs, most well-known songs. Here's the thing. I don't like P. Diddy. Okay, P. Diddy ruined a bunch of Biggie songs, and I hate him for that. He always finds some odd desire or reason to go on these songs and just scream off the top of his lungs as if anybody's taking him seriously or if he's like scaring anybody or any of that shit. It's like, dude, you're just screaming into a song and it doesn't make any sense why you're doing that, and it's pissing me off. So I actually don't like Hate Me Now. I don't like that song. Small World. I love Small World. That song, if you listen to the beat and you listen to the lyrics, it's a really good song. This song, it actually has almost like I remember like playing it with my uncle, and he was like, did Eminem produce this beat? It was, and I think Eminem didn't produce that one. He produced a different song. I think that song was on Godson, if I'm not mistaken. But it sounds almost like a Dre/M beat. So it's a little bit different for a Nas style thing, because he didn't really do that most of the time. Most of his music is not the M. Dre type beat style. Now, I love Small World. I think it's a great song. Favor for a Favor. Another really good duo for Nas. Scarface. Really good duo, man. It's sad because, Scarface, I don't remember what year it was, but he was like, man, I think he said 99% or 90% chance that there's going to be an all Nas Scarface album. I mean, dude, if it was going to be anything like Favor for a Favor, I would have loved it to death, because Favor for a Favor, the beat is amazing. Here's the thing I also want to explain. The tone on this entire album is extremely dark, and it's different. It's not similar to any other Nas album that I've heard. It's not, this is just, every song that I hear, I'm essentially thinking of Pitch Black, because I think that is the theme of this song. The entire album, the theme of the album is just pitch black dark is the way I think about it. So, in this song, the lyrical ability and then just the play off each other, I mean, come on, Nas and Scarface, do you have any idea how dope that collab album would have been? I would have loved that shit to death. I'm so sad that didn't come out. By the way, when Nas's new album came out, I was disappointed because I was still hoping that DJ Premier Nas' entire album was going to come out, because that thing would be a pure masterpiece, is what it would be. Anyways, moving on. We Will Survive. If you haven't heard that song, you have to hear it. What it is it's actually it's a tribute to both Pac and Big. Amazing song, really good beat. Chorus is really awesome. Sort of a sad song because obviously it's a tribute to two icons who died. So it's a sad song, but the meaning behind it just makes it such a quality song, and the beat is good and the chorus is good. Love the song. Amazing song. Ghetto Prisoners. Again, dark, deep, dark song. You know, saying Ghetto Prisoners, rise, rise. Like, all of this different shit, man. Like, these songs on this album were dark as fuck. I don't know what Nas was going through at this time. I don't know what the fuck he was dealing with, but this man's was fucking, like, dark, man. He was not happy. He really was not happy, man. But I love this song. I think this is a really underrated song of Nas, actually. I like these dark songs. It's weird, but I like the songs because I feel like the song, the tone of it, again, the tone of it, the rhythm, everything, really fucking good. I love the song to death. Ghetto Prisoners, A+ for me. I love that song. One of my favorite songs on this album. Honestly, it'd probably make my underrated list of songs, but it's more of like a personal favorite though. You Won't See Me Tonight. This one had Aaliyah on it. She unfortunately had passed away. I don't think too long after that, maybe like a couple years after that. Unfortunately, I think it was a plane crash. I can't remember if it was because the pilot had drank booze. I think that's what the reason was, or maybe it was a heart attack. I think it was the booze, but I'm not sure. But that is unbelievably unfortunate, so rest in peace, Aaliyah. But this was actually a good song too. I fuck with this song. Now, another dark song on this album, I Want to Talk to You. That is a dark song, man. That is a really dark song. You know, he's talking about, I want to talk to the mayor, to the governor, to the motherfucking president. I'm actually going to pull up, I want to pull up the lyrics to that because I want to point out some of this, but it's really dark, but I like it though. Like, even like right when the first verse begins, he goes, step up to the White House, let me in. He goes, what's my reason for being? I'm your next of kin. Like, this shit was like, he goes, and we build this motherfucker, you want to kill me because of my hunger. Like, it just, I mean, dude, this shit was fire, bro. And it's like, it's got this dark tone, and I love it, man. And he just goes off on this, man. He goes, Mr. Mayor, imagine if this was your backyard. Mr. Governor, imagine if it was your kids that starved. Imagine your kids got a sling clack to survive, swing a Mac to be live, Cardac to get high. It's like, all right, man. Like, that shit was fire, dog. I love that song, man. I love that song. And it's a unique one because I don't think Nas ever gets darker than I Want to Talk to You and Ghetto Prisoners. I don't think any of his music gets darker than that. I don't think there's ever a darker tone or a darker theme than either I Want to Talk to You or Ghetto Prisoners. And that may be why I love it so much. It's so unique for Nas. I've never heard such dark, such almost like revolutionary type shit. Like, I fuck with it heavy, man. It's really good. It really flows. And oh man, I love that song to death, man. I love it. Now we got a trash song on this album, Dr. Knock Boot. I'm not, I love you, Nas. You're my favorite, I think you're the best rapper of all time, best lyricist, hands down. But dude, what the fuck were you thinking, man? Dr. Knock Boot. And see, here's the problem. I mean, you had to make singles, like, I don't even know if that was a single on the album. I don't think it was, actually. I don't think it was. But like, why even toss that in there, dude? Like, that's such a wipe away. Dr. Knockboot is ass. Shit. Garbage. Hot pile of steaming garbage. Life is what you make it. This goes on my list of underrated songs, okay? Because this is actually a collaboration with DMX. And this shit, oh man, it is fucking good, dude. It is good. I love that song so much, man. It's such a good song. I'm actually gonna pull up the Genius because I want to look at I want to just this song is so good. I love Nas really collaborated well with a lot of other New York rappers, and I wish he got even more AZ collabs. By the way, I don't. I guess I'll mention it now, but that Mo Money Mo Murder Mo Homicide song with that's AZ's joint with Nas on it. One of my favorite songs of all time too. But just the beginning, man. He goes, you a killer, a hustler, a dealer, a customer. Like the flow of the song and the tone of the song is really upbeat and sort of somewhat quick. And DMX is jumping on it too. And he goes, everyday shit around the way got me stressed, so I keep the vest in case I want to test. I got no time for games because I'm all grown up. You want to joke, laugh when you get blown. So it's like, I love it, man. Good shit. One of my favorite, honestly, easily one of my favorite collab songs. You know how I was adding, like, I Want to Talk to You and Ghetto Prisoners to my personal favorites list that are really underrated? It goes in that category, too. Unfortunately, this album, in my opinion, when it comes to public discourse, despite it getting, I think it got, decent ratings from ratings places when it came out, and it had good sales, too. Although I don't think sales is a good measure of whether or not an album is good at all, or how good an album is. I think that, when it comes to public discourse and discourse amongst people, I think that it's super underrated, superbly underrated, and it hurts me. It hurts my heart that that is the case, because this album is just so criminally underslept on, and it fucking pisses me off, man. It fucking pisses me off. Now, next up, Big Things, throwaway song. Why you do this to us, Nas? Well, first of all, why do you do that to us? But why are you doing it to yourself, dog? Because when you throw these waste songs on here, people get pissed off, man. Other people for some reason can get away with it, but when you make Illmatic, dog, people ain't gonna let you get away with that shit. Big Things, dude, just carve that shit off the album. Big Things, throw that shit off. Dr. Knock Boot, throw that shit off. You would have you gotta have somebody there to be like, yo, Nas, dog, Esco, you need to take this shit off. This shit sucks. How you finna put out New York State of Mind? It ain't hard to tell, and all these other crazy joints, and I had to be like, yeah, I'm popping on Dr. Knock Boot and Big Things. No, dude, stop it. Don't do that. Don't do that. Come on, man. No haces esto, por favor. Come on. Anyways, next up, Nas is this is back when commercial songs used to be good, man. I love Nas's that has really good replay value. I've heard it over many of times, and I love the song very, very much. Amazing song. The beat is really good. This song also has what I mentioned about Rule and One Mic, is where it'll be different tempos in the same song. So it'll sort of be dynamic tempo of at one point it's sort of low, it's sort of slow, and then next second, boom, hella fast. I fuck with that. I fuck with that heavy. I love Nas's great song. Now, other throwaway songs on here. Kissing, I don't like. Money's My Bitch, I don't like. I don't like either of those songs. So, moral of the story, throwaway songs. If Nas had somebody there yo, Esco, take this shit off. You can't be dropping New York State of Mind and then be dropping Dr. Knock Boot or Big Things or, Money's My Bitch. These songs fucking suck. And they're just not up to par. I don't know why you would do that. But luckily, he finished off again, this is a pretty long album. It's 16 tracks. So, there's going to be throwaway songs on any 16-track album. You're not going to have... And, that's why I always say Illmatic was a gift and a curse, because it's celebrated as the most, the best album in hip-hop history. But, if you're going to spend the rest of your career chasing that quality. And, you're never going to get there again. It's impossible. It's not possible. So, 4 throwaway songs on this. Luckily, he did manage to finish off very, very strong with the song known as Undying Love. Now, one of the main skills, if not the main skill of Nas, is to paint a picture in your head. You're essentially watching a movie, but you're just listening to a song. And in this one, you can picture everything that is going on at the time. He goes in, he finds, it's either his girl or his wife cheating, and then all of this shit happens with the cops and all this other stuff. Amazing song, and he tells this whole story, and I love this song. J. Cole, I think he said that this is one of his favorite songs of Nas as well. He's a big Nas fan. I fucking love this song. So he finished off strong. But just to give a quick little end summary on I Am, one of the most brutally underrated albums. I mean, if you ask someone about, like, you know, like, what's your favorite Nas album, bruh? Or, like, Nas albums, they're not going to bring up I Am. But in my opinion, it's number 4 on my list. It's number 4. No one in their list down below or anywhere is going to be like, yeah, I got I Am at number 4. But if you listen to the album, you definitely finna have it up there. Now, number 5, this is the thing, okay? Some people may be like, oh, this is like BS because it's not really an album. Although I consider it an album, and maybe consider like a compilation album, but I had to put the Lost Tapes in, man. I love the Lost Tapes. So the Lost Tapes was like, it's basically just like a compilation of a bunch of songs that didn't make it on other albums and shit. A lot of these were songs that didn't, or some of them, I don't know about a lot of them actually, to be fair, but I think a lot of them, definitely a lot of them, it looks like, now that I'm looking at the track list again. But it was supposed to be that, you know, that whole autobiography album, you know, I Am, but it ended up, you know, it was supposed to be Fetus first, and it was supposed to go in order, but that didn't pan out because everything was getting leaked out before they, you know, went up. So here, I mean, the Lost Tapes, I just had to put it up, man. The Lost Tapes is the best tapes. Do Rags, love this song. Do Rags, I will say this. I can't remember if it was Do Rags or if it was Purple, but I think it was Do Rags. The beat, like, I don't know, it makes me feel sad. I don't know why. Like, it makes me feel sad. It's like, but it's such a good song, but like, it's sort of like a downer for me because it makes me sad. It doesn't make me upbeat, it makes me down, you know? But I love the song, though. It's a great song. My Way. This song is this is the song that I have listened to the most. It is the song that I have played over and over again the most. I shit you not, I played this song probably literally hundreds of times over and over again. I remember one night, I was up like super late. I was doing like this, you know, and I was really young. I was only 13 at the time. Me actually, was it? Yeah, no, I was 13. And, you know, I'm just playing my game, and then I'm just replaying this over and over and over again. This song is so good, obviously because of the lyrical ability, but I love the, you know, you almost get this like heart-to-heart connection with Nas. The beat is really dope too, but, you know, the part that's really vivid for me is where he's talking, and, you know, I'll even pull it up on Genius to see the lyrics because I want to, you know, explain to you, but he's talking about ill will. He's talking about ill will and how, you know, he died, he was watching him and shit. Like, come on, man. It's like, it's crazy. This song is hella good, too. I love this song. If you haven't heard this song, please, I'm begging you. I really do beg you. But look at this storytelling, though. He goes, never knew murder till I see my man get popped. No blood soaking, laying there, eyes still open. I got a little closer, put my hand in his palm. He was looking right through me, yo, staring beyond. I wonder what he saw, the limos, movies, and tours. Did he die in vain and represent for the cause? And then he goes on to say, now I'll put his name on everything I'm involved in. That's the game. Y'all can't relate. Fuck y'all. And that's why he had Ill Will Records. I didn't know that when I first became a Nas fan, but, you know, that was like when I was 13. I did learn it fairly quickly for, you know, that time. But, you know, just the storytelling ability on the part of Nas is shocking. It's shocking, man, because everything that he's stating, you know, I can picture in my head. You know, I can picture Ill Will, you know, laying on the ground with his eyes open. And I can picture Nas, you know, walking up to Ill Will as he's, you know, dead, laying there dead, and putting his hand in his palm. And I can picture the process of Ill Will and, you know, just fantasizing or, you know, hypothesizing or theorizing or, you know, whatever you want to say about what he was thinking about. And so the storytelling ability in this song is fucking amazing, and I love it to death. It is, you know, one of the most, you know, just beautiful things I've ever heard, ever, absolutely ever. But come on, like this fucking that part of the verse is so good, and it's not just the storytelling ability, but it's there's a sort of connection that you get with the artist Nas, of course, with him speaking about said topic in such an articulate way. Because he could have said it way shittier. He could have said, man, like, he could have been like, man, like, you know, my friend died when I was a kid, and just, you know, sort of shit like that. But he makes it much more creative. He goes, you know, I didn't know death until I saw, you know, my friend laying there, you know, there's no, you know, no blood. It's fucking amazing, man. And he says, did he die in vain to represent for the cause? Like, some shit. Like, Nas, the thing about Nas is he always leaves you something to think about. And that's the thing. That's something that is really powerful too. And you definitely don't find that with virtually any artist today. Maybe J. Cole, maybe Kendrick, you find that somewhere. I will give them credit for that sometimes. But, I mean, he always leaves you something to think about. And that's just, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I don't know how else to put that. But, number 3, You Gotta Love It. I actually really like this song. I can't remember if You Gotta Love It, was that... I can't remember which, because I think there was 2 versions of one of the songs on Lost Tapes. I like You Gotta, actually no, I like You Gotta Love It. That's a good song. It's a good song. The thing about every single song, well, that's not true. I don't like Papa Was a Player, and I don't like Fetus. The last 2 songs on the album, I think they're kind of, I don't know. I just don't like them. I definitely don't like Papa Was a Player either. The song, the way that it vibes, like, I don't fuck with it. Those are, I guess I gave away my opinion on the last 2 ones. But the point here being, everything else on this album, the other 10 songs, are all at the worst okay. But the vast majority of them are really good. So You Gotta Love It, that's good. Nothing Lasts Forever, again, another message, man. Like, trying to bring the central message, like, nothing lasts forever, man. Like, that's the way it works. Although it looks like Nas's career has lasted forever, so shout out to him, big ups to him. That's a great song. No Ideas Original, that's the song I know, I'm pretty sure has the 2 versions. There's one, I think there's a Lost Tapes version, and I thought there was a Stillmatic version, but I didn't see that in the track list. I don't fucking know why. I hope I'm not getting, you know, I'm hoping that they didn't fucking not write that in there. I'm gonna be really heated if they did that. But anyways, No Ideas Original, you know, again, another message saying, you know, there's no idea that's original. Blaze of 50. Blaze of 50 is actually an underrated song for sure. The beat of it is a lot stronger of a beat, and the tempo of the song from the jump is heavy. You know, it's hard. Like, the tempo is hard. Like, it's like coming at you. It's more assertive. And I really like that. It's a good one. And it's also storytelling ability, again, that goes into, if you look at the lyrics, you listen to the song, storytelling, you know. He's talking about, like, Tyra Banks and shit. And I forget if he's talking about, I don't think it was OJ, but he's talking about some football player. Everybody's Crazy. I fuck with that song too. Purple. Purple is another similar song to Do Rags. I like Purple a lot. Really good song. Check that shit out. Drunk by Myself. That is a hella good song. I love that song. That is one of my top songs on here. So number 1, I mean, I have to give it to My Way, because come on, I played that shit like an insane amount of times. But my favorite songs on here, it goes My Way is number 1, and then, you know, it's sort of like a crew of Purple, Do Rags, Drunk by Myself, and Black Zombie. So Drunk by Myself is a really good song. Again, a thing that I guess he utilized quite a bit in his career. The changing tempos within a song. I love it. Love it to death. Awesome beat. Everything matched. Now, Black Zombie. I like that song. Black Zombie, if you listen to the lyrics, and again, that song has a central message of, you know, people are sort of being these, you know, sort of zombies in the system of everyone going through the same thing and shit. And so you should be, you know, original and be different and just be, you know, unique and be your own type of person. You know what I mean? So I love Black Zombie. Actually, that might even be the first song that I heard off this album, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure, to be honest. But I will say that, you know, that is a really good song. So every song on here except for Papa Was a Player and Fetus, I love them. I love them. I don't like Fetus and I don't like Papa Was a Player. I don't know if you guys like those songs. I mean, I guess you can let me know, but I would be shocked if you did. I don't know why you would. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't like either of those songs. But that concludes my top 5. Again, I want to know what your guys' top 5 albums of Nasir Jones are. But, you know, you have to number them and tell me why. Give me some rationale. You don't have to go into, you know, shit, it's been over an hour. You don't have to go over an hour of writing. You know, just at least leave some, like, you know, cliff notes, some, you know, bullet points. But again, my list goes 1 Illmatic, 2 Stillmatic, 3 It Was Written, 4 I Am, 5 The Lost Tapes. Now, Stillmatic and It Was Written were almost interchangeable, but I gave Stillmatic the slight edge. I Am and The Lost Tapes I was actually really confused on, but I decided to go with I Am, and I'm definitely glad I did so, because I think I Am, I like more. I like I Am more. So those are my top 5. Illmatic, greatest album of all, hip hop of all time. Illmatic, Stillmatic, and It Was Written, 3 classic albums from Nas, undisputable. Nas, best rapper in all of history, best lyricist of all of history. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are down below.